Hey, all right, let's just go ahead and get everything out there to let people know that we are live right now. Let's just go ahead and let people know that. Okay. Let me just go ahead and get people knowing that we are live at the moment. All right. And there we go. All right. So, hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Airsoft Al, the Comments Airsofter, who makes a milsim that is going to take place in 2 different states. One of which is going to take in 2 places in the same state. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who don't know, Operation Burning Star is in fact a milsim series that has been in my mind for a good long while. And for those of you who do not know, no joke, the milsim series is in fact moving forward. Ladies and gentlemen, this is happening. It's finally gaining traction. The idea that I've had is finally moving forward, and it is absolutely insane how much traction it is gained as a whole, which is honestly pretty nice. Now, let me just go ahead and give you a quick update, a quick catch up as to what Operation Burning Star is. Operation Burning Star is a satirical take on the idea that Texas had enough shit from California, seceded from the Union, declared war in California after California started shit, and then Tennessee being Tennessee, the fact that we sent 3,000 volunteers to help them out with that little scuffle with Mexico, sends 900,000 volunteers to help Texas on the California front. Literally, it is just all manner of fun. Anyway, though, so what's going on? Well, if you're thinking there's going to be action, explanation, fun backstory, there's a little bit of it. But sadly enough, this is going to be a boring update video talking about the technical side of things and where we're at in terms of actually rolling this thing out and whether or not you can actually strap on your greens and go march and invade California and help liberate the people from California. Either way, though. So, what are the states? What are the states that this milsim is taking place in? Well, the milsim is actually going to take place in Texas, obviously, and Tennessee. But there are going to be 2 different milsim events in Tennessee around Operation Burning Star. One near Nashville and one here in West Tennessee. Now, why, you may ask? Well, I'm going to explain the Tennessee side of it and then just kind of give a small thing about Texas because we're giving a small update. Right now, Tennessee has the most development right now in terms of actually being coherently done. So understand everything I'm about to say, and huge disclaimer, everything I'm about to say is heavily a work in progress. So take everything I say with a grain of salt because it could change like Thanos snapping his fingers and completely decimating half of the galaxy's population. Moving on. So, what are we doing right now? Phase 1 is essentially, it's early on in the war. It's early on in the conflict, and literally it's going to kind of reflect that everything has happened. Literally, so many regiments have already been sent out to the Texas front, and in Tennessee, my loadout is based off of the 5th Tennessee Volunteer Regiment. More or less get some strange reports about some strange sightings out in the woods. They send out us, and it's literally Red Dawn. There are Californian forces, boots on the ground in Tennessee, in West Tennessee, near Central. It is literally Red Dawn right now. So the whole aspect of that is that boots on the ground. Fucking Call of Duty, Jesus Christ. Anyway, so essentially the whole milsim event in Tennessee, the 2 milsim events, is going to center around essentially California forces literally pulling a 7-day war on Tennessee, and Tennessee essentially fighting its own version of the 7-day war, where it is essentially trying to push California forces out of Tennessee and securing back its borders, essentially. And what it's going now, the 2 teams, obviously Tennessee forces and California forces. Tennessee forces, the objective more or less is to eliminate the Californian forces and defend vital supply routes and communication. Now, because this is two different milsim events, they're not going to be connected. It is literally a disjointed point of view. Where in West Tennessee, where I am, in real life, we are a supply chain. We are one of the vital highway points of everything from military convoys to actual shipping, consumer goods, what have you. So in the milsim event aspect of it and the story aspect of it, we are literally trying to keep California from cutting off those supply lines to Texas and forces being sent to the Californian front. In the Nashville side of in the milsim, Nashville in real life is literally the radio central of Tennessee. You can literally be anywhere in Tennessee and listen to Radio Nashville, hearing music and stuff like that from Nashville straight on. In the milsim side of it and the story aspect of it, if a war was to happen and Nashville would be the main central vocal point of communications, as such being a high military target. So for the if you go with the Californian forces, your objective is essentially to take out or take over radio towers or communication points. While Tennessee side things is literally liberate or defend the communication aspect, defend a communication outpost, essentially. So communications are not disrupted, they're not destroyed, everything of that nature. That's what's going on. Now, in terms of actual how many days these events will be held, it's a one-day thing. If the stars align, we might be able to do a two-day event, but optimistically speaking, it's probably going to be a one-day event. Sad to say. In terms of team colors, because I know a lot of people are really wanting to be like, okay, is it tan, green, multicam, Marpat, CADPAT, you know, all these different camos? More or less, for the Tennessee Volunteer Forces, woodlands. I will get to that in a second, Cameron. Let me finish here. The color pattern for volunteer forces in Texas is woodlands or green. We are talking about Californian forces being tan. I'm trying to think exactly. Tan or a form of multicam, more or less. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes, more or less, for that. Now, Cameron, in terms of the story itself, since Phase 1 is essentially the war itself, Phase 1 is more or less they're just fighting into California. They've only gained some ground in California, and they are fighting in California, but California sends out people to Tennessee to try and kind of disrupt the supply chain, things like that, and we're actually going to see the same thing in Texas. And that actually takes me to the Texas milsim event. It's going to be held in Texas. From what we're actually going to be doing, it's going to be held at Tanks Airsoft, which great bunch of guys. I'm actually talking with the owner himself. They actually work with Cerberus Airsoft, which is a great bunch of friends down in Texas that I actually talked to. I did some videos for them. They're actually pretty cool guys. So we're going to see how that goes. But the Texas event is going to be essentially either California forces have sent forces into Texas to try and mess up the supply chain, things like that, or it will simulate forces fighting in California. Again, we're still talking, we're still getting some stuff done, but we're going to see how that all goes out. But for sure, the event will be held at Tanks Airsoft in Texas. That's where one location is. As for the Nashville Airsoft game, or Airsoft event, we're trying to figure out either Nashville Airsoft or one of the other big fields out there, but we are wanting to go with an urban setting for that milsim event. As for West Tennessee, that's a wholly thing that's up in the air. We're still trying to figure that shit out, and we're trying to get our heads around it and try and make sure everything's going along, because aside from trying to figure out the team colors, rules of engagement, things like that, we're still working out the paperwork. That's one thing I don't tell you about milsim event, guys. You think it's trying to make sure that, you know, all the guns and stuff, people use the right guns, gear, what have you. No, it's the paperwork. Literally, we're filling out freaking don't sue me forms for everything. So people can sign that shit so they don't sue us. Again, it's a big headache in of itself, but once it's all done, oh my God, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be great. Now, again, this is just a small update to let you guys know what's going on, but we do have a developers chat room in Facebook. So if you do have a Facebook and you've actually been to a milsim event, message me on Facebook. It's literally Airsoft Al on Facebook. Will invite you to the actual dev room itself, but sort of that stuff. But if you got any suggestions for like different camo patterns for the Californian forces or for Texas forces, because I know Texas forces, they're talking about either chocolate chip desert camo or desert camo like the U.S. Gulf War desert camo. But again, it's literally up in the air. It's still up. It's still heavy work in progress. But as for guns themselves, and this is something I think a lot of people are going to be interested in, for volunteer forces in Tennessee, because in story-wise, volunteer forces are literally people who basically volunteered and literally brought their own guns and own gear. It's literally a mixed match of stuff. The only real common thread between all volunteer forces is the woodland camo. That's phase 1. But as for regular forces, like regular Texas Army or regular Californian forces, AR-15s, essentially. Armalite rifles, M60s, saws, things like that. Again, we're still trying to figure out the standard arms, but as for the main battle rifle for everyone, it's an AR-15 essentially. So we're going to see sort of like a Falklands War type deal where it's the same gun against another military with the same rifle essentially. The Tennessee milsims with the volunteer forces are probably going to be the only forces which are not going to have the same standard arms. It's going to be probably a lot of AK-47, a lot of AK rifles, lever action guns, pump guns, bolt guns, AR-15 sprinkled in there for good measure. Again, just a wide variety of firearms as the main arm. By phase 2, however, and this is where phase 2 comes in, phase 2 of the actual Operation Burning Star milsim series, volunteer forces will start to be a little bit more modernized, meaning that the people back home, i.e. you guys, have bought enough war bonds to actually help the boys out. And essentially, you've helped the volunteer forces get better fucking equipment, so they're not wearing freaking pot helmets or just outdated Kevlar vest, essentially, or whatever the hell they could scrape together for actual like armor and stuff. And more or less will be modernizing, be it Mitch 2000 helmets or stuff like that. And I know a lot of people are going to probably lose their shit because it's like, no, you got to be standardized. There are the volunteer forces, and this is something I've pushed heavily. Volunteer forces are not regular army. They're volunteer. They're not under the same command structure as regular army. They're going to get whatever the hell they can. So, if you want to go with what you want to go with as a volunteer force with like a fucking Kevlar vest, a Mitch freaking Pashkit helmet, things like that, that's fine with you. Me, on the other hand, I'm going to go with what I can that's going to help me fight a little better against the fucking commies out over here in California. But that's the thing, though. Aside from that, another update to the actual gas mask and tear gas aspect of it. We are going to actually be doing a list of gas masks and respirators that will actually be good to wear for the actual milsim event, as well as decided, yes, we are using white Enola Gay smoke grenades to simulate tear gas. Game admins will be there to actually regulate how many times you can actually use tear gas attacks, so you cannot fucking spam it like the gas grenades in Battlefield 1. To anyone who's played Battlefield 1, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Or like in the Apocalypse DLC map where you have these fucking damn launchers launching fucking... Oh my god! It's fun when you're doing it, but it's not fun when you're on the fucking receiving end of it. And then there's assholes fucking launching more shit at you, more fucking gas at you. Not Battlefield 5 fire, Battlefield 1. God, be on the same fucking page. Jesus. But in all seriousness, though, by phase 2, we are going to be expanding how many fields and how many states are getting involved, including incorporating aspects of other international... no, it's published by EA. It's actually made by DICE. There's a huge difference. Actually getting involved in the conflict. Like with Texas, more states will be getting involved, such as Louisiana, Illinois, Mississippi, Georgia, South Carolina, Alabama, Florida, Oklahoma, basically all the southern states get behind Texas and they start piling on. And of course, obviously, China, yes, China would get involved with California because, of course, they would. Why wouldn't they? Yeah. But in all seriousness, though, by phase 2, we're going to try and incorporate more stuff, even incorporate. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to get my head around it. Incorporate more things like milsim West does with role play. Incorporate actual like scenarios, things like that. Civilians, insurgents. It's literally some cool stuff that I want to do by phase 2 and kind of just go bigger with it. By phase 3, I don't know. By phase 3, we'll probably incorporate some bullshit. Go like Modern Warfare 3, fucking nukes, bioweapons, shit like that. I don't fucking know. Again, we're still on phase 1 by this point in time. But I will keep you guys updated and telling you now, yes, Operation Burning Star is going forward. And yes, Operation Burning Star is going to happen. Yeah, no, basically the Carolinas would get involved whether or not they would actually be on our side or dealing with some of the bullshit insurgencies. That's completely up to how the storyline actually comes out after phase 1, because the events in Texas and Tennessee are going to shape and kind of morph the outcome of phase 2. Because yes, you do, Dice. Yes, you do. Damn it, Dice has already confirmed it. He's a commie. He's going with the Cali forces. He's a damn commie. You damn Canuck. But in all seriousness, though, Operation Burning Star is moving forward. Yes, they're airsoft games. Paladin. Jesus, you missed the first half of it. Christ. Fucking rewind this so you can know what's going on. But in all seriousness, though, Operation Burning Star is moving forward. We are now going to have it. Literally, we are going to have it in 2 states, Texas and Tennessee. And it is literally either going to be a 2-day or 1-day event. And it's just going to be fun. It is literally going to be fun, and it is going to have fun, and it's going to be affordable. That's the big one. It's going to be affordable. But until then, that's all I've got, guys. Literally, that's everything I've got so far. I am talking with the owner. I'm the owner of Tank Airsoft. I'm talking with the guys over at Cerberus Airsoft, and we will bring you another update as soon as possible, as soon as everything finally gets finalized. And I will even do training videos, yes, training videos, in the days of 1940s, i.e. World War II. So I will be doing training videos for the M16, for the 1911, the equipment, the gear, all of it. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't yet, consider supporting us on PayPal. You know I will, because guess what? Let me see if I have them around here. Where's my sunglasses? Where are my aviators? Where my aviators go? Because I finally found these. And you can bet your ass the gunny's coming back. So stay tuned for that. Also, would you kindly consider donating to our PayPal and become a supporter, because it's you guys that have helped actually make Operation Burning Star a reality. Yes, folks like you who donate to our PayPal are probably going to get first invitations. Yes, invitations to the events when they're actually down. And let's face it, if we have the ability to, we will personally invite you down to the events. And yeah, that's how it goes. Anyway, thank you all for watching. As always, I've been Airsoft Al, the Commands Airsofter, who makes awesome milsim events so you can try and get to them. And I will see all you glorious American bastards on the front lines. Till next time. Oh, wait, before I go, little sneak peek to the next upload. Counter-terrorists have loaded into the map. That's right, folks. The next review is a PayPal sponsor review, which means The next review is on the Sig Sauer 552 by SEMA. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you all in the next review. And I'll see you all when Operation Burning Star actually happens. Till next time.